or life.
Whenever you think of poverty, you probably think of homelessness, clothesless, shelterless, foodless, and such. But it's much more than that. It's much more effective than that. Poverty has its effect in not only the outside world, but on the inside of one's mind. There are two ways poverty could be a mindset. One is that they feel owed. The people in poverty always lived in bad conditions. Therefore, they think they should be entitled to the same food stamps, treatment, and such that they should be receiving over the years. Two is that they still want to hold their pride, so they refuse charity and try to find their work. Well, there are a few problems with people trying to find work. One is that they normally don't look the part. From dental problems to cleanliness to clothes, they just don't look presentable and knowledgeable. Knowledge is another problem. Most people who live in poverty don't speak proper or appropriate language because they were never really taught the right way. They have lack of organization skills, the skills that helps you to know where you need to go to be successful. And they didn't have resources to learn where to go or the right way to speak. Sometimes they don't even have teachers who would care and help even when the students ask for it. The students were never really educated on how to create relationships with others. Building relationships is obviously a big deal when you are working with others. This is ridiculous. Relationships at home are always important too. For people who live in poverty, home relationships are normally not the best. Normally the father leaves the family to go find work or just leaves because of the bad living conditions, which leaves the woman in charge of everything. The kids, the house, work. Families in poverty are normally really big families. Like in the videos we saw, the son and daughters, they were saying they have 20 siblings. This is ridiculous, but having more sons and daughters is basically a pride thing, which you could say it influences the kids to take part in sexual activity at an early age. And most of the time, they do end up having a child. So every cent they make goes towards the baby. The babies of the families are always taken care of first before anyone else in the family. So like the kid in the video, it showed a hickey on his neck, assuming he is sexually active and will most likely get a girl pregnant. And it is awesome how he has goals for himself, but he has so much going against him. The sexual activity, lack of organization skills, lack of resources, and lack of knowledge can all put a setback on his goals and what he would like and wish to achieve in the future. In my opinion, the boy had a low amount of education, so that is his big issue trying to reach his goals. You could tell by just in his interview that he got a little tongue-tied. He didn't know what he was saying. He didn't have an order he didn't put it in an order. If you listen close enough, he put the end of the story first, or the event with the most emotional intensity first. Then he would tell all the other mini details that were in the story. But at that time, it was sort of boring because you already know the main part. The people who live in poverty have a lot going against them. No good resources, lack of organization skills, lack of knowledge are all negative towards people in poverty. Even their mindset is off. And basically it has to be different than someone who doesn't live in poverty, such as ourselves. I hope one day we can actually decrease the amount of people who live in poverty. So I would say just look out, try and help the people in need, but